Hello, and welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Job. Job just prayed for to get out of here, I think. Yeah, he's still not doing too well. Yeah, face of darkness. My purposes are broken off, right? He's lost. He's super lost in life, right? Doesn't know. But he's still got his friends. Always got his friends, right? Bildad and Shuhite, sorry. Um, and this is a deep cut on the internet, but there's a guy named Shoe Nice, and he used to eat deodorant and stuff like that. Just a little a side road attraction while we're on our way. But this is he's doing better too. I mean, he was drinking a lot. Things weren't going well for him either. Not everybody, gets there. You're there for a reason. But let's see what Bildad and Shuhite have to say, right? Because Job was kind of yelling at him, saying that they weren't being supportive friends. But they were. They're being very supportive friends at the end of the day. So, chapter 18. Then Bildad... Oh, sorry. Then Bildad the Shuhite, as in where he's from, answered and said, "How long till you put an end to words?" He said, "You gonna shut up?" "Gain understanding, and afterward we will speak." Bildad really coming in with the dad attitude, right? The Bildad attitude. That's something right there. "Why are we counting as beasts, and regarded as stupid in your sight? You who tear yourself in anger, or tear yourself. Shall the earth be forsaken for you, or shall the rock be removed from its place?" You gonna change anything by doing this? So you're gonna wallow in your sadness forever? You're getting dusty, bro. That's how much dust you keep putting on your head. "The light of the wicked indeed goes out, and the flame of his fire does not shine. The light is dark in his tent, and his lamp beside him is put out." Not looking good. "The steps of his strength are shortened, and his own counsel casts him down. For he is cast into the net by his own feet, and he walks into a snare. The net takes him by the heel, and a snare lays hold of him. A noose is hidden from him on the ground, and a trap for him in the road. Terrors frighten him on every side, and drive him to his feet. His strength is starved, a destruction is ready at his side. It devours patches of his skin, the firstborn of death devours his limbs. He is uprooted from the shelter of his tent, and they parade him before the king of terrors. They dwell in his tent who are none of his. Brimstone is scattered on his dwelling. His roots are dried out below, his branches wither above. The memory of him perishes from earth, and he who has no name among the renowned, he is driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world. He has neither son nor posterity among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Those in the west are astonished at his day, as those in the east are frightened. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him who does not know God." Right. In the end, the wicked are punished. You can do whatever you want, right? And you can take advantage of people, and you can manipulate situations, and eventually it comes to a head, right? And then they realize that what you're doing is not of God, right? You're not supposed to be there. Everything comes crashing down. And even if they do get away with it and they live a really good life, when they die, right, there's accountability. So, that should be, I understand that bad things happen, right? And they need to exist for good things to happen. Not that they need to exist. There's a way for us all to, like, do this peacefully, cordially, with everybody, even without getting along. It's just like, I think I was thinking about it in the car. Like, if you're unwilling to think about things or say things, like, words are so fleeting, but words also hold power. Like, you can use your words to make people do things, right? Because your words make people feel things, because you're a person, and this is the system that we live in, right? The netting that makes it up. And I don't know, in my life, you definitely have, like, moments of grace. People knew I did drugs, and I was like, it was a weird situation, honestly. And this is far enough into the video where I know, at least at this point, not a lot of people are watching. I see those analytics, people. I know you're coming back, and I'm trying to make these videos better. And not with the purpose, like, to just speak my mind and have, right? I'm not, like, I don't want you to take what I'm saying as, like, fact. It's fact for me and what I believe in my salvation and, like, my relationship. But, like, your relationship is more important than mine to you, as it should be, right? Because at the end of the day, your salvation and your integrity is, it's what you have to hold up, right? At the end of your life, that's your science fair project. So take pride in it at the end of the day and do something with it. Help people. Help people. It's a lot easier to help people. But I know, people's lives are hard. I hear people's lives. I talk to people all the time, and they tell me their struggles, and I know my struggles. So, I said, we're all human beings. We all deal with the same stuff. And it's ridiculous that you can't have a conversation. And some, like, look, it doesn't matter what you believe at the end of the day, right? Not to other people. It should matter to you. Like, don't get offended when other people believe. Also, you don't need to tell people. When they say something that's contradictory to what you believe in, you don't have to speak up. You know? You don't, it's not required every time. Like, at the end of the day, you're probably causing more strife between people at the end of the day by constantly bringing it up, you know? Bring it up when it's reasonable. And I'm on, like, the side of religion, but, like, I was at a witch walk, right? A pagan event. And it was fine, right? The people are great. It's a good time, right? There's good vibes, you know? Still, like, everybody's peaceful. And, but that's, like, the space for them. And they organize the event. And you have a guy who is, like, ministering for Christ and Jesus in this environment. I'm not saying that's not, like, a noble thing to do, especially if those are the beliefs that you have. And that's, like, go for it, right? You were there, you did your thing, no, but nothing happened, right? You got to say your piece. Everybody let you do your thing. But, like, maybe there's a time and place, you know? I think. And it's not there unless you're, like, just trying to incite, you know, anything, a conversation. But you were on a loudspeaker, right? You were yelling at people and telling them that everything that they were doing was wrong. And, like, that's not what Jesus did. That maybe is what God did, because God was killing people, but Jesus wasn't doing that, and that's not how he acted. So, like, Why do you think that that's okay to do? It's not. Because you think that you're more correct, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you should be able to get along, but you should also be able to understand and respect and realize that there are those differences. And like once you realize those differences, right, steps kind of have to be taken. If it's not what you believe in, right, and it's not what you agree in, and it's not what you want to be doing, then you gotta set your own boundaries, my brothers. You gotta stand up for yourself, right? And live your life. Live your life for God. So, let's try it. 19, chapter 19. So, maybe Job is turning a corner. This is like the 4th or 5th time I think I've said that. Maybe it's just another wave. We'll see how far we go crashing down this time. Then Job answered and said, I think I was right. And Job said, as we're going up the crest of the wave, this is all the advice that Bildad was getting him to get him over the hill, right? And then here's Job on the way down. How long will you torment my soul and break me in pieces with words? Come on, dude. These 10 times you have reproached me. You are not ashamed that you have wronged me? Dude's getting offended now. And if indeed I have erred, my errors remains with me. If indeed you exalt yourselves against me and plead my disgrace against me, know then that God has wronged me and has surrounded me with his net. If I cry out, if indeed you exalt yourselves against me, they're not saying that they're better, dude. And that's maybe the reaction that you get, right? People internalize it. It wasn't for you, right? It was a general statement of what you're doing. And what you're doing in the moment, I guess, does make up who you are, right? But to be able to say that, to be able to say it and openly rebuke people is kind. It's kinder to be a little bit mean at the end of the day if it, like, helps people. Because, like, it's letting people away with things. Like, how do you get to a point where, like, pedophilia is a fucking thing that is openly kind of, like, not really fucking accepted, right? But it's all in the Catholic Church, and it's all, like, in society, and it's constantly fucking talked about, and it's a huge fucking problem, and we don't, like, take it seriously. But it's the same thing with, like, drugs. That's not really taken seriously. As serious as it can be, right, at the end of the day, and for what they're doing to, like, not take over communities, because that's what it would be at the end of the day. You need to realize, right, is that these are outside people that would, if nothing would be done, they would just keep building and building and building. And in 50 years, you wouldn't even recognize. It would be such a slow change that you wouldn't even be able to recognize it because it would happen so slowly. And maybe that's what's happened. Is that, like, just been dulled down, right, to the point to where you can't notice small differences. But pay attention, right? Keep paying attention. Know then that God has wronged me and has surrounded me with his net. I mean, that's kind of true in a way. God didn't wrong him, but he did protect him, even if he doesn't view it that way. If I cry out concerning wrong, I am not heard. If I cry aloud, there is no justice. Yet. He has fenced up my way so that I cannot pass, and he has set darkness in my paths. He has stripped me of my glory and taken the crown from my head. He breaks me down on every side, and I am gone. My hope he has uprooted like a tree. He has also kindled his wrath against me, and he counts me as one of his enemies. You can't say anything like that, right? You don't know that. He breaks me down on every side, and I am gone. That was you. You did that. My hope he is. They encamp all around my tent. He has removed my brothers far from me. Literally not true. You're face to face with your friends. And my acquaintances are completely estranged from me. Again, you're out of the moment, dude. You're not comprehending. You're a little bit lost in the sauce. My relatives have failed. Well, they're not here anymore. And my close friends have forgotten me. Again with this dude. So ridiculous. Those who dwell in my house and my maidservants count me as a stranger. I thought they were all gone. I am an alien in their sight. I call my servant, but he gives no answer. Because he's not there. I beg him with my mouth. My breath is offensive to my wife, and I am repulsive to the children of my own body. Even young children despise me. I arise and they speak against me. All my close friends abhor me, and those whom I love have turned against me. My bone clings to my skin and to my flesh, and I have escaped by the skin of my teeth. Have pity on me, O you my friends, for the hand of God has struck me. He's calling out to his friends. Ooh. My close friends have forgotten me. Verse 14, that's what he said. Oh, but that's... Okay, maybe no, he's just asking. For a hand of God has struck me. Why do you persecute me as God does? Are you not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were written. Oh, that they were inscribed in a book. They are, Job. They literally... Maybe they're only inscribed in this book because you had this reaction. And maybe that was more of a surprise. Because there's a lot going on. He's so deep down the desolate descendants of depression. Trying to come up with the words. Yeah, he's really down in the dumps. He's feeling bad. But is he just facing reality in a way, I guess? Again, right, when bad things happen, this is a reaction. God accepts all. It's okay. You know? Be afraid of the sword for yourselves, for wrath brings punishment of the sword. Which there is judgment. And maybe that's the human aspect of it, and like not being able to realize, is being part of the whole system, a part of the whole system. Unless you go out of your way to like learn your function, you never know, right? You never know how you interact with other people and how you kind of fit into it. And you really do have to go out of your way to kind of understand it. Because it's like the pieces of an engine. Thousands of pieces go into the production of an engine. A car engine, a piston engine. It's probably less now, right? As time goes on and we become more efficient and we keep cycling through designs. We've been cycling through engine designs for over 100 years. Between steam, hydrogen, gas, like jet fuel. There's like recycled plastic. There was a guy on TikTok who was recycling old plastic bottles and turning that back into crude oil, because that's all plastic is crude oil. That's all it is. It's just another byproduct. So they take crude oil and they superheat it, and they send that through a little condensing pipe, and they shoot that into a giant condensing tower, and then it goes up, and the higher it goes, the different types of things come out of the crude oil. So it goes from like gasoline to kerosene, then to like paint thinners and stuff like that. So, and that all comes from crude oil, and then eventually you get to a product that becomes plastic, and they mold it then, and it just solidifies. So, like when your water sits in these plastic bottles for years, right? The microplastics. Do you know what microplastics are? It's not even like, it's little oils pellets. That's all it is, essentially. Solidified oil pellets in your water that I'm drinking right now because I have no choice. So maybe that's my theory, is that we're gonna microplastic the entire world until we either come to a catastrophic event where it causes all of our bodies to kind of malfunction in a certain way that we can't like do anything about, and it would happen because like cholesterol, and when you have a heart attack and when your arteries, that's a buildup of fat that comes, and microplastics and oil very similar to fat. So the microplastics would build up in your body similar to the way that fat would, I think. I don't know. And then that would just kind of who knows? That's, I think that sounds a little bit better than who knows. Hard to say. Things are weird. People don't agree with each other. Hopefully things get different, you know? So trust God that he's got it figured out. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. Thank you, God, for giving us another opportunity to learn and grow as human beings. Protect us all in our daily journeys, our weekly endeavors, our monthly travels, and our yearly escapades. Now, thank you, God, and find some peace.